Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the cheapest possible team for the Great League Remix Cup here. Of course, you can use the normal variant of the goal, but this makes it a little bit cheaper and a little bit more accessible. But if you have the shadow variant is definitely better. But also, we're going to have the Wishcast here. All Pokemon here are based on 10k charge move unlocks, so like the cheapest one possible. It's also none of them going to be XL or need even like to be close to level 40. They're all fairly like in the mid 20 to 30 range, which is really cheap. And these are going to be fairly available, I would say, especially like, for example, the Wishcast and the Golbat, while the Dubwool going to be available by tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be able to have an event for Dubwool. Definitely try to get a good Dubwool if you haven't got one yet. But look at this Blizzard as well. Boom, goodbye the Lurantis, and the Cresselia will not have the greatest time here anymore. And there's going to be a good game. So let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have a Quagsire in the lead. This is a fairly neutral lead, which can be a little bit tricky though, especially if they're going to catch the Shadow Ball on a Dunsparce. But we didn't go for the Shadow Ball. We went for the bait here with the Poison Fang, allowing us now to go into our Dubwool. And you see already, our Dubwool moveset is not the standard one. We are not running Payback, we are running a Wild Charge. And I think this is the right call for this current meta here. Yes, there is Cresselia, which you're going to kind of want to have the payback for, but that's basically it. And there are quite a few flying-type Pokemon. There's something like the Toxapex, and there are quite a lot of Pokemon where the Dubwool has a great time, as we're also going to have a great time against the opponent's Quagsire here. This Pokemon will definitely not appreciate those incoming body slams here coming their way. Going to be able to get the first hit on them. Now should most likely get the shield from the opponent as well, as we maybe even get to another one, but nope, they're gonna go for their own charge move here right now. I can let this move go through, I can go into my Golbat, and I can debuff the opponent's defense here with the Poison Fang. Seems a little bit silly here right now against Rock-type Pokemon, but this actually puts the opponent into one Mud Bomb range, which is really nice for me as well, because like this, the opponent has basically zero chance here anymore, as we're going to be able to go just for 2 body slams here, and there is nothing they can do. We have enough energy to go for all the body slams in the world here. There's literally nothing they can do to win this game anymore. They realize this as well, and they don't even use their shield anymore, so first 2 games so far so good. Amazing lead for us in the next one. We're going to have the Toxicroak against us, and now the Lickitung is coming in, and we're gonna go ahead and go for a Poison Fang again, just to debuff the opponent's defense. I will be able to swap out now into my Dubwool, and now I'm going to be able to just go for 1 body slam here, and farm them all the way down afterwards, which is like the cool thing anyway with this lead here right now. We're going to be able to, if we win the lead, debuff the opponent's defense for whatever Pokemon comes in. And this is basically the bread and butter for this team as well. The Golbat is like such a good core together with like Dubwool and the Wishcast in the back, which are very spammy Pokemon in general. And yeah, I went really positive with this team. I can highly recommend you to try this one out, even if you have like any kind of other Pokemon and you don't really need to have the cheapest team. This team is amazing. You can still also substitute some Pokemon. For example, the Wishcast, you can also go for a Quagsire if you have one, which is most likely a little bit better. But otherwise, this team is really nice, and it's honestly one of the best teams that I have played so far for this cup. So we can now swap into our Wishcast, and we will see the opponent's Diggersby here having to go for an Earthquake in order to knock me out. But they go for the bait first, which didn't work out against us as well, as we were able to call that one. And like this, I think the opponent already knows, this game was over for them as well. And I had a great win streak with this team. Like, this was so nice. Next opponent, I know that I played against the same opponent in the video before as well, in the one that I literally uploaded when the cup dropped with the Togetic. But, yeah, we're going to see here the Dragonite in the lead. Very interesting Pokemon as well, as we will be able to now shield up the next move. I should be able to go for another Poison Fang in time, but they're going to swap out into the Quagsire, allowing me to go for 1 Shadow Ball. This should be fairly decent for me, as it's going to do some pretty decent damage against the opponent, and we force them to throw another charge move. So we might be able to just farm them down with our Dubwool here. Let's see. We're going to be able to go ahead and now let this move go through. It's going to be the Mud Bomb. It doesn't do too much damage. I can go for another move here, and this should knock them out at this point of time. So far, so good. We're going to have a very decent scenario here for us right now. We can go for the Body Slam against the Dragonite, and we should be able to do some nice damage here. And honestly, I feel like at this point of time, they're even in range for a Mud Bomb from our Wishcast, because Dragonite is very squishy. And even though it's double resisted, we should be fine here right now. And as you're going to see, I'm going to use a shield here, which in hindsight was the biggest mistake of this game, as now I will be able to go for one Mud Bomb again. This is going to knock out the opponent, but they're going to have an Excadrill in the back. I don't get to my Blizzard in time, And the Mud Bomb is not going to be enough to knock them out here, and one Drill Run is going to do more damage than the Dragon Claw ever would have done. And like this, we're going to lose this game. Barely. I would have been most likely able to win this if I played it better, to be fair. Like, this was on my own. If I went for my Mud Bomb earlier, I would have been able to have my health left, so I would have been able to survive one move from the opponent there as well, from the Exit Drill. So heck, there were a lot of things that I could have done a little bit better. Here we're going to encounter a Manabus against us. I kind of want to get some energy again, and I was just hoping at this point of time that I would be able to just one-shot them with a Wild Charge after a while. So let's take a look at this one here right now. We're going to see that they go for the foul play, gonna get us fairly low, but I should be able to go for the Wild Charge right now before they can go for another charge move. And as you're going to see right now, they survive with like 1 HP in a dream, which is really annoying, as now they will be able to realign. I will be able to go into my Golbat and hopefully do something against whatever they have in the back. It's going to be again the Nidoqueen coming in here right now, and I'm going to actually use a shield for the incoming Earth Power, which still would have done a ton of damage. And I'm going to go for the Poison Fang first, which was a mistake because they're actually going to let this move go through here. And now I go for the Shadow Ball and hope that there's something in the back that we can deal with. Let's take a look at this. It's going to be the Scrafty, and I don't know why they didn't shield up their Nidoqueen at all there, to be fair. This would have been definitely their best play to do, just like shield the Nidoqueen and have a great time there. But as you're going to see right now, the opponent going to go for the foul play immediately, which is a smart move here. I expect them to bait first, but like this, we're going to still be able to go for the Mud Bombs here anyway. They just go for the Power Punch spam, so I don't even have to shield. And as you're going to see, they're going to let the first Mud Bomb go through already, and it's going to do enough damage to put them into farmland range. So I'm not really too scared about this matchup anymore, and we will be able to win this game fairly easy here as well with our Wishcast in the back. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to have the Golbat against a Goldissupport. This is going to be an amazing lead for me as you're going to get a Mawile out of the way. Mawile can only go for a player of you right now in order to do some damage against me. One Mud Bomb doesn't knock them out from this range at all either, so like this is going to be a fine one for us as well. Actually an interesting Pokemon, like Mawile, maybe even with Fairy Wind, is a fairly decent Pokemon to use in this meta. But there are also quite a few Pokemon that I would be a little bit scared, as a Mawile at least. But might be an interesting shout. Maybe I'm going to take a look at Mawile as well. But we will find out eventually. Of course, Goldissupport going to be one of the best answers for our friend Wishcast here. But we can now swap out into our Dubwool here, and they should be into a Body Slam range right now. So that's going to be okay for me. We can go ahead and go for letting this move go through from the opponent, but they of course get the defense drop immediately. It's a 30% chance. I can go for a Body Slam at least now. I have 2 Body Slams stored, and I will be able to go for one here right now to get the shield, and for another one here right now as well to maybe knock out the opponent. Let's take a look at this one. They're going to shield both of them, which is interesting, and I'm going to let this move go through here right now because I feel like that Golbat should be able to finish up against nearly everything that they have, but it is a Melmetal. I'm able to catch the move here right now, which they're going to completely undercharge so they can get at least 2 more fast moves in. But this is going to be a wild one. Do they actually run Rock Slide as well with the double Iron Bash? They do, for whatever reason. I don't even understand this here really, but we will see the Shadow Ball coming through and going to do some pretty decent damage against them, and we can still reach the Poison Fang in time, which will be all we need to knock out the opponent there as the Goldissupport comes in and they still get to a liquidation here right now. Can we survive it? We can, and this is going to be a very good game here. Golbat is just the MVP, to be fair. Amazing lead for us again. The Ex-Cavalier is going to be very nice to us to deal with. Oh, I remember this game. This is the one game that I kind of didn't want to show you, to be fair, but hey, I don't fake stuff or whatever on YouTube, so here we're going to see the matchup. I think that we're going to see later on as well, where I'm like, oh, why did I do this? We're going to now see the matchup against the Drifblim here, which is going to go for the Mystical Fire. Mostly I should have went for my Wild Charge as well a little bit earlier, but I didn't really want to get debuffed myself here. And I will see the shield coming up from the opponent, and they can still get to another move here, which is really annoying because I'm going to keep my Dubwool alive. I can at least go ahead and go for another charge move here, as you're going to see that the opponent going to swap out after this one. Most likely, no, I'm going to swap out. Myself is going to swap out after this one, and we're going to get out the Manabus. We will be able to do some pretty decent damage against the opponent here as well with our Golbat here, going to be able to go for the Poison Fangs against the opponent, and this is going to debuff the opponent so much that they are in Body Slam range for sure, as we're going to be able to actually use a shield here to knock out the opponent's Manabus as well. Could have went for one more fast move as well here, but this should be enough to knock them out, and I will be able to realign, which might be the way to go. Let's take a look at what they have in the bag. It's going to be the Drifblim again, but now they are definitely in range for one Body Slam, which I didn't see at that time, And that's my downfall, to be fair. We're going to get out the Escavalier, which I completely forgot that they had. To be fair, this was my own mistake. But I thought that also that the opponent's Griffblim had more energy than they actually had. And we see here that the Mega Horn is going to get me perfectly low, that I will go down by 1 hex. So at this point of time, I just have to hit the Body Slam, and I thought this is not enough for the Body Slam. For whatever reason, I didn't think about this, and I overfarmed my 1 too much, and now they can go for a Mystical Fire, which is barely enough to knock me out. And honestly, I could have won this game so easily, and it is so annoying. But you see, I am also doing a lot of mistakes, to be fair, especially when I play in the evening. As you see also in the background, this is fairly at night, so definitely a mistake by me. It was definitely very annoying, but it would have been an easy win as well. I think so far all the losses that we've seen so far could have been avoided, so this team itself is like so nice. Like, honestly, can highly recommend to you. We're going to have here the Diggersby against us, which is usually a fairly decent matchup for our Dubwool as well, as they're going to have, of course, the Earthquake, which is going to do a ton of damage, but we're going to have the advantage of our Faust move doing super effective damage against the opponent, as well as Body Slam spam, of course, is very strong here. The Earthquake is coming through again, and this should allow me to farm them all the way down. This should only be a Fire Punch. If it's anything else, I would be surprised, and it's only the Fire Punch here as well, as he can now let go of some Body Slams against the opponent. The Quagsire is coming in here, and I can go for 1 more Fast Move and then have 2 more Body Slams stored, which is going to make this matchup so much better for me. And Dubwool is just going to town here right now, doing so much damage against every Pokemon from the opponent the entire time. And I can even swap out into my Golbat, because I know that Golbat doesn't really have the best play in this kind of matchup here. So this will allow me to go into my Wishcast, and the Sandslash will not appreciate the Mud Bomb from our Wishcast. Super effective stab, buffed this season as well. Going to do some really nice damage here against the opponent as this Mud Bomb is coming through. We can now farm them all the way down, and they don't even knock me out with any charge move here either, so that's going to be a very good one, as we can now go for the Mud Bomb against the Quagsire to finish up this game and win us this game. So, very nice there again. Dubwool was definitely pulling some weights there, as we're going to now go into the next match. Amazing lead for us. Crafty in the lead is going to be amazing, as you're going to get out the opponent's Golbat, allowing us to go into our, with our Golbat into a Shadow Ball that's going to shield up, and so we have a shield advantage, and we can swap out into the Dubwool. We can take some moves here for sure, as the Poison Fang is coming through. I'm still kind of misplaying this game here as well a little bit, as you're going to see right now. I thought I can still go for 1 more fast move, but they actually are going to outspeed me. Actually, I could have went for 1 more, but I couldn't go for 2 more. I don't know why I did go for 2 more fast moves here. So they were able to outspeed me here, but at this point of time I can realign for sure 100%, as this Wild Charge is going to knock them out. I can go for another Wild Charge here to put me even lower, so 1 counter is enough to knock me out. Now the opponent is going to be super low, and they're going to have to meet our Wishcast in the back, and this is going to be a good game. RPS here as well. Horrific lead. Carbink in the lead again. A 1441 variant of Carbink. That's already a little bit XL for sure. So that's going to definitely take a little bit of damage against me here as well. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Wild Charge. This is the reason why I have Wild Charge. I want to get them a little bit lower with this move here. But they're going to swap out anyway into the Cresselia, allowing me to go for another Body Slam, as well as for a Wild Charge here as well. But usually Cresselia's moveset going to be the what's called Moonblast, as well as the Grass Knot. So our Golbat has a great time here, right? Golbat usually has a great time against Cresselia, and of course they are running Future Sight. And this was also the point. This was, by the way, the second team that I played. I played now 4 teams in total. The Chestnut team is already out earlier today, but there's going to be a different team that also worked super well that I'm going to release during the weekend. But tomorrow is, by the way, Komala Day, so we're going to get some new Pokemon at least to showcase here. If you enjoyed the video, by the way, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. But this game is going to go down there thanks to the Future Sight from the opponent there. Horrific lead for the final game here. There was nothing that I can really do about this, and we're going to now get the Surf Edge out of the way as well against us, as they can go for the Body Slam spam. At least we're going to be able to get a shield here, which is nice. And I will try to get another shield here, most likely. No, I'm going to actually let this move go through. I think in hindsight I should have tried to go for a charge move there just to get the shield. I'm going to shield this move up because I thought if they went for Night Slash for the Leaf Blade there, they most likely don't have Night Slash, but they did have Night Slash. So I rather would have let this move go through. But like this, we're going to get out the opponent's final Pokemon, which is going to be a Cresselia. And at this point of time, I'm fairly certain that I'm going to forfeit fairly fast here, as they're going to be able to go for the Grass Knot. I'm still going to try to most likely go ahead and try to hope that I win with the Golbat if they don't have Future Sight again, but I mean, Future Sight is such a rare move to be seen for Cresselia in the Great League that I would be surprised if they have that, especially in this meta where Scrafty is everywhere. Like, there's no real reason to run Future Sight here, so I'm going to let this move go through. And with that, we're going to end this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you on the next one. Honestly, don't know where the Future Sight Cresselias are coming from, but bye-bye.